Hey guys, I'm Kristen. I write at Rage Against the Minivan.
And I'm Sarah from Whirl.
And we are revisiting our Mama Said series. And revisiting because recently Sarah relocated.
We're no longer living in the same state.
Right.
We are halfway across the country
Yeah.
from each other. But I'm visiting right now.
Yes.
So we thought, hey, let's do a couple videos.
Let's do some videos for
Let's
old
do some
time's
videos
sake.
for old time's sake.
So, I mean, the first thing we're going to talk about is you moving and why you moved. And, we've been having a lot of interesting conversations around it, around lifestyle. And, I mean, so...
Okay, so we had been out here in Southern California for 12 years. And my husband and I are both born and raised in Oklahoma, although we haven't been there for decades. And about a year ago, we had started talking about how we were living out here kind of like on an island. Like we had really great friends like Kristen and Mark and their family, but like we had no family out here. And, my kids didn't know. It was like we were going home for the holidays and I was like, remember your grandma and grandpa? And no, this is your cousin. And they're kind of like, hey, so happy to see them and stuff. But like there was no true relationships. And so I think number one, it had to do with the kids.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, our kids need more of a community. They need more family. They need more support. They need more unconditional love. Because, hanging out with the neighbors is awesome. And we had a great street here that we lived on. But it was just different, So that was the main reason. Plus, living in Southern California, the pace is super fast.
Yeah.
Everyone is busting their asses to make enough money to live here.
To afford it.
Because it is so expensive.
Yeah.
And, it was just all these little things. And we kept on, let's revisit this. Let's revisit this. And I think there's part of like our egos holding us back. Like, we can't move back to Oklahoma. I mean, my Dustin's a successful interior designer here.
Yeah.
And the whole thing. But finally we were just like, my health kind of got wonky for a while. And that was a huge factor. So yeah, we decided, okay, we're just going to do this. And we moved 3 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. It's so great.
And I feel like one of the things you guys are realizing is as you've left this area, which is very metropolitan, but also very consumeristic, materialistic, very driven.
Oh, yeah.
It's very much about your car and your house and your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're really finding as you've moved that the lifestyle is different.
Oh my God, the lifestyle is so different. Well, first of all, living out here, like coastal, we're on coastal California, so it's very, lots of tourists. So it's very transient out here. Like, you go shopping at the mall and you're probably 10% of the people at the mall actually live here.
Right.
So, it's just, there's not a lot of community. Mm-hmm. And where we are now, Oklahoma City is very like grassroots. It's very, there's a lot of really actually amazing things happening in Oklahoma City right now. That it's a great place for small businesses to start, and just it's kind of like we want a piece of that. And people just in general, it's so much slower.
Yeah,
it's so much slower. In fact, my husband and I found ourselves like the first month getting really irritated with everything about Oklahoma. I mean, we were just like, oh my God, why is this why is everyone taking so long? Why, oh my God, spit it out, because we were in such a crazy go. And now it's kind of like I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it's slower. And you know what? It's reasonable to live there. You don't have to work 24 hours a day to have a nice home. And it's just a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like your life has really slowed down and you guys just have more time for date nights and coffee with friends.
Yes. And it's become so much fuller because we do have family. We do have old friends that have, they have moved back from LA and bigger cities. There's a big move right now. I've been reading about it a lot all over the place about people making these moves from large metropolitan cities to these mid-level cities for all the reasons.
Like Austin.
Yeah, like Austin and for all the reasons I stated.
Yeah.
But it's I feel like I'm doing a lot more. I'm face to face with people a lot more.
Yeah.
And having
and you're more connected.
Meaningful conversations about what's really happening with you, not kind of like, how they go here.
Oh, totally.
Well,
I know, and so you moving has stood up this whole kind of existential thing for me because I'm like, gosh, I mean, do we live in a really isolating place? And I mean, what you're saying is very true. Like, one of the things we struggle with, because Mark and I, we don't work a whole lot,
Right.
I mean, we work normal. We
Right.
don't work 60-hour work
Right.
weeks. We
Right.
just, we have some boundaries and values around that. And we struggle finding a community of people that are like that because
You can't
everyone's
find it.
running so hard.
No.
Nobody has time to hang out. Like,
No.
people don't do barbecues, they don't tailgate, that, those long kind of
Oh, yeah.
extended hangage, that just is
No.
not a thing here.
No.
And
it-
so,
yeah.
and then it begs that question of like, is it really where you live and how much of where you live affects your lifestyle and your community, or is it like the old wherever you go there you are?
Yeah, that is so true.
I
And I'm not
know.
trying to knock Southern California because
No,
I think
no,
there's,
no.
like really
There's great
great
parts
things
of it,
about
too.
it. But
Yeah.
like my girlfriend said, who moved from LA back to Oklahoma City, she's like, some of these areas they're a really perfect backdrop. But that's
Yeah.
really what it's all about.
Yes.
It's just a pretty place with
Yes.
really pretty weather, but how far is that going to take you in your life? A pretty place with pretty weather, and I mean, I made some great friends here. So,
Yeah.
but in general, my kids are a lot happier. I am a lot happier.
Yeah.
Everyone's happier. So,
Yeah.
although I mean, I will find reasons to come back here every 3 months. I'm like,
Yes, you
I
need
gotta
to.
type some loose ends. I gotta
Yes.
go back because right now it's like 20 degrees in Oklahoma. And here it's like a balmy 70 and the sun's
perfect.
out. So, yeah.
It's mid-November and it's perfect.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm stating out there to the whole world that my next move is to get this one somewhere closer to me. I mean, I'm not thinking she's gonna move to Oklahoma, but Austin
I do like Austin.
is fun.
So I'm curious, I mean, I want our readers to answer this question though. Like,
Yes.
do you feel like where you live affects the way you live and your friendships and your lifestyle and your values and your community?
Yes.
Or am I fooling myself that moving somewhere else would actually like change all of those things? 'Cause
Well,
it did
I
for
can
you.
say it
I know.
absolutely 100%
did.
changed
That's true.
everything.
That's true.
So I don't know, but we'll see
Okay.
what you guys have to say.